Hello guys and welcome to a brand new video. Today I'm here with Oshinoko episode number 2 reaction. Okay, the previous episode it was a big episode and it was the prologue of this anime and it was crazy. Now, I've heard a lot of good things before watching the first episode, but I wasn't ready for what it showed. And damn, I'm like that was I have to say that was a really perfect like opening episode. Like everything was like on point, like the music, the pace, the animation, the story. Like I wasn't really able to find any type of fault or flaw in the first episode. It was just perfect. And I cannot wait to see which direction this anime takes. Obviously, it's a reincarnation, like a story with both the twins being people who have been reincarnated, and they're like, like the brother will try to find out the father and all that stuff. So I like how they're going to do that, what's going to happen. I'm really looking forward to it. However, that first episode was on a class of its own, and damn, that was impactful. And yeah, like the only thing that I'm kind of a little bit sad about is that that was the only episode that we would get to see Ai Hoshino. Probably later on we'll see her in flashbacks and stuff, but that's the only sad part. I feel like that we won't be able to see her anymore. That is it. That's the end. We'll be following her children's story. And yeah, but either way, let's see what happens. Episode number 2, let us begin. I'll be putting the subtitles and the timer here. Sync it to whichever is your preference, and let's get started. Right, here's the countdown. 3, 2, 1, go. Oh, here we go, the opening. We heard the song, but the visuals. I've heard this song a lot more after the previous episode. I heard it a lot. I listened to it specifically. This is a banger song. What the? All right. Whoa. Oh, she will become an idol. You know the little group that we saw? Okay. Certain large scale group idols audition for additional members. Okay. Oh my god, that's a lot. Drag and drop the file. 1288. Wow. Awaiting results. And the thing is, she wanted to be an idol even before in her previous life as well. Wow. Shortcome. Mm. Two secrets. Oh yeah, that as well. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, wow. And then this happened. She's like, wait, what? What happened? How am I? Hmm. Yeah. I don't think that. Oh my god. Okay. Yeah, exactly. Hmm. True. That's another big problem. Hmm. Yep. No, he's telling you not to take gamble on that. Oh, I'm going to become an idol, so I don't need to do anything else. That's what he's saying. Yeah, you can see that. Hmm. Oh, these two as well. Wait, what? Wait, so the manager, he just he just went missing? Hmm. First place, V Komachi. Yeah. She doesn't want her going walking the same path as her mother because I'm pretty sure she feels like that because look at what happened to I. Okay. Hmm. Okay. Oh no, she wasn't selected, I think. Yep, she wasn't selected. Oh god. Hmm. It's crazy. They like personally phoned her. That's impressive. I thought like usually they send a letter. Hmm. Mutanda Studio. Oh, this is Aqua's. Is he trying to like find out who the dad is? I'm pretty sure. Wait, I was wondering. It was him. Oh my god. Because he doesn't want her to follow the same path as her mom. There you go. Oh boy. Okay, don't go in with random. Oh my god. No. Yeah, but yeah. Yeah, I don't think. Yeah, I don't know. Hmm. Hmm. Yeah. Oh, he's gonna go and pay them a visit. The people who scouted. I think so. Oh wait, no. Wait. What? Oh, okay, okay, I understand. All right, that's what he's doing. So he's cross-examining. Yilibu. Okay. Damn. Small amount. Okay. All right. Hmm. Okay. Uh. Okay. Oh my god. Yeah. Well. Hmm. Oh no. That's why they're scouting more. Yeah. There you go. Well. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. And Ruby getting in that directly, like in the middle of it. Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. Mm. Oh no, she's going for the audition. Wait, didn't Aqua do something? Hmm. Yeah, her dream, her from the previous life as well. Okay. Because there are shady ones. Okay. So they'll be starting again. Yes. Yeah, that's way more better than like letting her go in some other agency and like just like she'll be with us. Like exclusive contract. Hmm. Oh my god. Hmm. 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 Editing job. Oh. Okay, okay, that's fine. All right. Hmm. Okay. Yeah, exactly. It's better to behind the scenes. Yeah, but he will have to come out. Wait, wouldn't he need to go into acting to actually go meet the dad? Like he's yeah, like he was also yeah, exactly. So why did he change his mind? Oh, DNA. Yeah, but oh, is that why he's working behind the scene? Okay, yeah, yeah, makes sense. Not necessarily he needs to be an actor. Oh, okay. Well, he's not a kid, so. Oh boy. Oh my god. Well, he's also a middle-aged guy. But, um, that changed the whole mood. He's like saying such a serious thing, and his mom comes in. Oh my god. Oh my god. Mm. Mm. Yeah, that is true. I agree with that. He's smart and he knows the ins and outs of everything. Mm. Because of that. Not because of the dad, but because I, in her last breath, said that. Oh, oh my god. Yoto High School. Alright. General Education Department. Wait, her title. Why is. How. Wait, doesn't people feel it weird that his title is the same as Ai Hoshino? Oh my god, it's that girl. What was her name? It's her. Yep. Yeah. Yeah. No. Okay, Arima. Mm. Oh yeah, because she never found anything about him after that. Damn, she changed a lot. She's actually pretty like normal, unlike when she was a kid, like she was so extreme. Wait, that's it? Oh my god. Oh, okay. Wait, I've wherever heard this voice. Who is this singing? I feel like I've heard this singer before. Whoa! He looks a lot like Shirogane. Now that I'm looking at him. Hmm. Alright, I think that is it. Yep. Oh, wow. Okay. So, this episode. So obviously after the first episode, we get to see like in the end of first episode, a few things were established. First of all, Ruby wants to become an idol like her mother, while Aqua wants to be like wants to be someone who gets like close ties with the acting, like like the industry, so that he can get some clues about the dad and make him go through the same pain that the mom did. So that was like the established two facts, and we begin this episode with Ruby doing interviews and trying to get into the into the idol industry. And you can see her like in her school talking to her friends about being chosen for the industry, and like this and that. Now, one thing, like I'm not exactly sure, did like I Hoshino, wasn't her actual name public? I Hoshino, like was it public or was it not? Because the fact that the sister and the brother are actually using their actual name, that is Ruby Hoshino and Aquamarine Hoshino, isn't that something very unusual, like very suspicious for the other people? If the new I's original title, wouldn't they connect the dots? Like for example, uh, um Ruby and Aquamarine both are part of they have connections to the Strawberry Productions, and the fact that I was also related to the Strawberry production, the fact that I's last name is the same as Aqua and Ruby, wouldn't people connect the dots and be like, oh, they're probably her daughter and child and son? Like, wouldn't that be the case? Or like the only reason I can think of that why people are not connecting the dot is if I's name wasn't public. I's actual name wasn't public. If that was the case, I could understand. But like this is one part I'm not really understanding here. Like why? How can they use their last name like that? Like people will definitely like. This is one part I don't understand. Anyways, so right, Ruby's dream, is to become an idol. Obviously, this is not her current dream, but her dream from her previous life. We see her, talking about how she was, even when she, breathed her last, in the previous life. In her head, I's song was ongoing, and she was listening to I's song. And so, from the previous life, her dream was to become an idol after watching I for so long. And after becoming I's child, it even that dream increased when she looked at her, idol, her beloved, star from in front, and the passion and the desire to become an idol even grew even more, where now her mom is literally Ai Hoshino, and after watching her mom for so long, she became even more passionate about becoming an idol. So it's like a total of the previous life and this life's desire of becoming an idol. So she definitely wants to be an idol. It's like, it's there, and she's like very excited talking about this to Aqua, and Aqua's like, oh, like, you shouldn't really focus too much on becoming an idol. Focus on your studying as well, your school, your exams. While she's like, oh, I don't think that'll be much of a problem, because the school that I'm going to be going to is like, like high schools with performing arts departments focus on the interview, so yeah, I can nail that properly, so I don't think I'll have much problem. While Aqua's like, don't put, like don't make like assumptions that, yeah, you will be able to become an idol. Was that word, don't count your chickens before they hatch, that, like that thing, that saying, like that's what literally what he was saying, that you're not an idol. Don't try to, like, make your future and think about your future as if you're already an idol. This industry is crazy. A lot of things might happen. And obviously you can see that Ruby's pretty pissed off at that. Ruby's like, no, like, I want to become an idol, like, what's your point? Are you trying to stop me from, like from going in this, like, route? And he's like, oh, I don't, do as you want, I don't care, I'm heading back to the director's place, and he leaves. Now obviously you can see that Ruby, as Ruby says, that yeah, Aqua has changed. Like when he was a child, he wasn't as gloomy as he is now. Now after, like, Ai's death, he completely changed, and he didn't even tell Ruby what he's doing in the director's place. Like, she knows nothing about what he's up to, what he is doing, none of that. So yeah, now another thing comes out here, which is something I was surprised at. She said that Ichigo-san fell out of contact after the incident, after which Miyako-san took over the agency. So the manager guy, that guy, so he just left, I guess. Like, wait a minute, weren't they married, or were they like only married on, like, yeah, like Miyako and Ichigo, they were married, weren't they? So he just left just like that? Like, I can understand obviously the shock of Ai's death probably, like, affected him, but like, what? So he just left. He never came back after that, I guess. Like, as I say, fell out of contact. So what happened? Did they get divorced, or are they still married? I'm guessing we'll get these answers later on. But for now, what we need to keep in mind is that he's not here anymore. He's probably fell out of contact. And Miyako took over the agency, and now she is like taking care of the kids, and also kind of like keeping the agency a bit alive, I guess, kind of keeping it ongoing. And wow, she changed a lot. I wouldn't even I couldn't even think about her change in the first episode, where she was at the beginning. She was like, oh, I'm going to I'm going to like make this a scandal. I'm going to I don't want to be a babysitter. I want to marry like a like a famous actor or someone like that. I can't be a babysitter. Let me just put this in like make this a whole scandal and destroy Ai Hoshino's career. That was her in the first episode. And damn, Ruby knocked some sense into her by acting as if the gods messenger. Obviously, that's not why she is like this. She definitely changed because she became more fond of the kids and I as well. Day after day, taking care of them, and going together with them, doing everything with them, made her made her start liking them as her own children. So that is why obviously she changed. But I wouldn't have expected this, really. The fact that the manager, Ichigo's son, actually he's the one who left, while Miyako stays behind and she's the one who becomes their mother, is something I never would have expected. I probably would have expected the reverse. The reverse I would have expected. Ichigo stayed behind and he became like the dad or something, while Miyako left. That's the first episode when I saw her, and when all of that commotion was happening. That is what I would have expected. While now look at this, see episode 2 and the whole thing completely like flipped. And she's the one who's telling it, which is, yeah, like props to her. I guess she really is just, she became like she character, became a character who redeemed herself completely and even went beyond. So, yeah, because she's doing this genuinely because she loves them, not because of something else, some other hidden reasons. She genuinely cares about them. That's why she's doing all of this. So, yeah. And the fact that even Ichigo left, like that is also another big thing because he's the one who gave her the responsibility of taking care of Ai's children and like all that, and he's the one who just left. So even after that, the fact that she's still caring for them and actually became their mother is just, yeah. But I'm pretty sure this is normal for her because like I said, she probably grew fond of them. She definitely grew fond of them after like so many years staying with them and all. And okay, anyways, after that we get to see that what's her name, Ruby. Yeah, Ruby talking to Miyako and saying that, talking about the whole idol thing, and how she wants to all that stuff. She's discussing to her about that, while Miyako says that I was a prodigy, she was a miracle. It doesn't happen that smoothly. I was special. Like, normally in this industry there's a lot of things that we need to think of, like not only the fact that like you're become an idol. After you become an idol, to keep up with everyone, your co-workers, jealousy, this, that, blah blah blah, like it's a lot of praise. And the audience as well, what the audience thinks about everything. So this is I was special. Everything went so smooth for I, that it was her own talent and her own thing which she used to shine. So she was a miracle. It's not as easy as it seems. And they're discussing about that, and obviously Ruby's like, yeah, I know about that, but this has been my dream. I've always wanted this. And then suddenly the phone rings and she's like, oh, this must be the interview, they must have called. Okay, now this is so crazy that I didn't realize what was happening. At first, the from the other side of the phone, someone's talking to her, and he's like, "Oh, is this Ruby Hoshin? I'm talking to," and had a little conversation with her. In the end, we see Ruby is depressed, and from the other side, we get to hear the person saying "Oh, please try again. I'm sorry. Good luck." That's it. Now, one thing I felt a little bit weird at that moment. I was like, why are they calling? Do the people of that agency have so much time that they're individually calling everyone they're rejecting? Like, how is that even possible? Like, we saw it's this how many, 100,000 or something like that crazy amount of people applying, and only 1,000 will be accepted. So what? They're individually calling every single people that they have rejected? I was like, that's weird, because usually that is in no way possible. What they do is they write a letter that, oh, you have applied here. We're sorry, you weren't successful. Try again next time. Thank you for choosing our agency. All that stuff. And one letter, the only thing that changes is the name. The name that you're printing, and all the other is like mass printed letter, and the only thing that they change is the name on top, who they're referring to, and obviously the address, and they just put it out, and the letter comes and you read it, and there you go, that's it. And nobody calls you and informs you that you have been rejected. It usually doesn't happen when there's this amount of people. So first of all, I was like, okay, what, they're actually calling? That's kind of interesting. It makes sense why this happened. That was actually Aqua. That's why he called. Now, at that point, obviously, I didn't realize that it was Aqua. Ruby starts crying after being rejected, and Miyako comes in, hugs her, and Miyako says that not everything will go as smoothly as it gone for I. I was special. We have to struggle. while suddenly we cut to the other section where like Aqua is like talking to the director, that guy. And it then clicked to me when the director said that, oh, like you're doing this again, aren't you? Why are you stopping your like sister from chasing her dreams? And that's when it clicked. I'm like, oh my god, wait a minute. So he's the one who called. And it makes sense. Now, it kind of clicked because I was thinking that Aqua like barely even like objected to the fact that she wants to be an idol, because I was thinking like Aqua would be like completely against the whole thing that, oh no, you're definitely not going to become an idol. Like, he's not doing it in that manner, he's actually doing it in this manner, which he's deliberately like sabotaging the attempts of Ruby to becoming an idol, because obviously he doesn't want her walking the same path as I did. But at the same time, it is also true, like the director says, like Miyako says as well, that even if like I can understand, like you're afraid, you're scared of the fact that like she's walking the same path as your mother. This is her life, you need to let her like live it as she wants to. Like, how long will you be doing this? And yeah, but either way, he says that I already sent them a shot. Wait, just a minute. Oh, so this is what he did. I wasn't able to properly pay attention here. So what he did was, okay, what are you gonna do if she gets a call from them for real? And he says, I already sent them a short text from Ruby's phone saying that she was withdrawing. There you go. Damn. So he's thorough. Plus, I blocked their number in the. Oh wow, he also did that. I've dotted the I's and crossed the T's. All right. So yeah, there you go. And like I said, then the director says, "Why are you doing this?" And he says, "I don't want her going in the same direction as my mother, like gone." And in his head, he's like, "I alone will be enough to like catch my dad and like go into this thing. I don't want like my sister Ruby to go into this whole mess. Like I myself is enough." So later on, suddenly next day, she gets scouted in the middle of the road by like another agency, and obviously Aqua's like, "Wait, what?" Obviously, like he tried so much to just stop the whole like interview, and like now she just gets out scouted. The next thing. Now, another thing I kind of thought, I was like, the fact that Ruby was getting rejected also kind of like, before I realized that Aqua was the one who's rejecting it, I also thought that, damn, Ruby's being rejected because Ruby felt very good at, the whole idol thing. And she has the looks for it, she has the talent as well, like after seeing her mother so many times on the television, she can like do a lot of things and she knows a lot of things. So I was like, okay, like it's so competitive that even Ruby is not being selected. But then I realized that Aqua's being like pulling the strings from behind, and I'm like, oh, alright, that makes sense. Because I feel like she might have, like nailed the interview. Like she might have actually gotten selected then and there. Either way, she gets selected, not selected, but scouted in the like like on the road, and she's so happy. She's like, oh, it's an underground idol agency, but it is still being an idol. So yeah, like I want to do this. While obviously both Miyako and Aqua are not happy about this. Both of them are like, okay, like feel like this is something shady. Like have you talked to them? Like what's going on? Like a lot of questions they ask, but Ruby isn't able to say much because she's like, oh, they called me to watch their like thing in front of them, and then like I'll decide. So I know nothing about them now, but next this day I'm going to go and watch them. So yeah, before that, obviously Aqua and Miyako are thinking what to do, because usually underground agencies do not really have that much of good opinion, like a good like reputation. It's usually shady, a few shady things here and there. So they're concerned, obviously. So like Miyako's like, what are you going to do? And he's like, I'm like, Aqua's like, I'm going to go and check that place out. And okay, Miyako also says a few things to Aqua as well. She says that after what happened to Aisan, I sympathize with you not wanting to let your sweet sister follow the same path. I still find myself thinking that if I'd done this or that back then, maybe things would have been different. I never want to feel like that again. I raised Ruby while thinking of her as my own daughter. I feel I protect her with no matter what, but as she's my daughter, that's all the more reasons I can't let her stop from the feeling what the way she does. There you go. Like, which is true, like, like I also agree to it. But, like Aqua, he definitely doesn't want Ruby, like, becoming an idol, because he knows, like, not only he, but even Ruby knows, like, what being an idol is. But for Ruby, it is her dream, so she's like still going to do it. While for Aqua, she really doesn't want her sister walking the same path as her mother. And yeah, and like I'll be honest, like I feel like Ruby, like, but I guess this is going to change little by little. What I was going to say is like I feel like I was so much more stronger mentally than Ruby is. Like, that's the thing. Like, she was cunning. Like I was cunning. She lied. Like, like to show her love, she lied to everyone. In her own way, to like like, and everything, like you saw that like section where she was like, oh, so this is the smile you guys want. Okay, I'll remember that. That way, like that type of cunningness she had. She had the power. She had the what can I say, like that confidence, that thing within her to struggle, and that mental, like like strength to stay in this industry and keep going. She had that. I don't think Ruby has that. Like I said, however, this might change in the future as she goes into the actual, like thing. When she's actually inside the lion's den, this will probably, she will gain more and more experience, and she will probably change and probably become like her mother as time goes on. But at least now, in no way she has the same mental fortitude as her mother had. And I'm pretty sure Aqua is also thinking of that. Aqua doesn't want her to jump in like inside the lion's den without any type of like protection. Like that's what's like happening now. She's just jumping in this whole like industry without any experience, proper experience, without any type of like like thing. So yeah, like I can understand what Aqua is thinking, but at the same time, yeah, you really cannot stop her from doing what she wants. It's her life. Either way, so Aqua's like, I'm going to go and check this agency out, and he borrows the Strawberry Production business card and goes in and gets like like to one of the girls of that like like idol agency, and talks to her, and he's like, oh, I'm from the Strawberry Productions, like can you come with us, come with me, and like we want to scout you. And obviously the girl was very happy. She's like, oh, the Strawberry Production, same people who brought B Komachi and I Hoshino. And yeah, they come to the like like their place, and here Aqua starts asking her questions about what type of group they are. And she talks about a lot of things. She's like, oh, like I'm not really happy with that agency. She's talking about how like the main like the manager, he has like ties with one of the girls, favors her more because she's his girlfriend or something. Like, and like people, like there's jealousy, like, and talks about the expenses and everything, how much they get, how much money they get, how much they deduct from all of that, all that stuff she kind of talks about. And in the end, Aqua asks the main question, that are you content over there? And she's like, no way, I'm not content. And she's like, the main girl, she, just because of connection, she's over there. She cannot sing, she cannot do anything, and like it's because of that. And she also starts bad mouthing her other co-workers as well. And there you go. So later on, after all of that stuff, Aqua and Miyako has a conversation about this, and yeah, they're like, this is what they're jumping into. This is what Yubi is going to jump into. In no way am I allowing her to join that shady agency. And Aqua also says that What about that girl? Will you take her in? She did seem okay joining the agency. However, Miyako made the correct decision. She's like, no, I don't want to bring someone in who badmouths her own co-workers behind their back. And yeah, that was the correct decision, obviously. Now, I was wondering what they were going to do, how they're going to stop Ruby, and I was thinking like, why not join this Strawberry Productions in itself? Because at that point, I didn't really understand the fact that they had actually stopped. But then I understood when Miyako said that, oh, we actually have stopped doing actual idol activities, and then I was like, oh, that is what's going on. But then obviously next what she says is that, oh, Ruby, you don't have to join those shady agencies. Obviously when she said that, Ruby was pretty disappointed. She's like, then what, should I stop chasing my dream? And Miyako's like, no, you join our agency. We will be starting Strawberry Productions from from scratch. So that's what's going to happen. Obviously she's happy, and I feel like Aqua was also pretty content with this, because he knows for a fact that Ruby is definitely not going to stop. Even if he's able to stop the attempts of other agencies getting to her, or by these type of ways, sabotaging her, this and that. How long will he continue that? Someday or the other, she is definitely going to be successful, and she might actually join another agency. So the fact that Miyako's taking her in is something that he felt was like, you know what, fine, I can allow that. At least she'll be with us. No other people will have any type of, won't be able to do anything to her. She'll be completely within our our eyes underneath. So it'll be fine. So he was like, all right, you know what? Okay, go ahead. I don't have any problem if Miyako starts the agency again. And yeah, obviously, Ruby was also happy with that, because all she wants is to become an idol. It can be any agency. And it's good for her as well that she's actually joining Miyako's agency. Because, it's like family, their family. So that's why. So then she kind of signs gives a little stamp in the contract, like an exclusive contract, I think. Just a minute, let me check. Exclusive contracts. Yeah, there you go. So I'm guessing this contract means oh, you won't be able to join any other agency, exclusive contract. I guess it's something like that, which is perfectly fine. I doubt, I doubt Ruby has any other plans of joining any other agency, and I'm pretty sure usually these exclusive contracts are for a certain amount of time, 5 years or 10 years or something like that. After the contract expires, you can probably go and join some other, or maybe not. I don't know. I'm not really that sure about these idol contracts, so I'm not really sure. But either way, I love the fact that Miyako's like, okay, and with that now you're an entertainer with Strawberry Productions. If you pull anything, we'll sue you. And she's like, oh, that's scary. And she's like, no, I'm not joking. We will sue you. No, it doesn't matter if you're family. Oh god. But anyways, yeah. Later on, Aqua goes back to. Wait, what is his name? The director? Gotanda. Okay, that's his name. Goes to his place, and his mom kind of opens the door, and the mom is like, oh, Aqua, will you join us for dinner? And he's like, oh no, later. And he goes in and he's talking to the director, and the director is like, oh, edit this part of the video. And so this is what he's doing. He's editing the videos and helping him out in the background, kind of getting gaining more knowledge and information on this whole industry, this acting industry. And since he's still a middle schooler, he cannot formally work yet, so I'm not able to build up any experience on location. That's why he's doing all of this. And okay, then the director asks that, what about your sister? You actually allowed her to join. And he's like, it's fine, he's still underneath the Strawberry Productions. I don't think any trouble, she'll have to face any trouble with family managing the group. I don't think things will go south. And okay. Oh, and they also he also talks about how he's joining the same school as Ruby is. And he's like, oh, I'm just joining there for general education. I don't want to be performing any arts over there. Now, I feel like there's two main reasons why he's joining the same school. Obviously, the number one reason is pretty obvious. It's because Ruby is going there. He wants to keep an eye on her. That's number one. Number two, I feel like, like he says that I'm going there for general education, but the fact is that it's still a school where, like, which specializes in performing arts. So even if he in his head he's like, oh, I'm not really that much talented in acting, I'm going for the general education. In his heart, he still wants to act, and that's why it's like a subconscious thing where he's like chosen this school because that's why, you know something like that, because they kind of made it very clear here where the director is like, oh, you could, like, you like, where's the part, oh, you had your look on your face like you were dead set on being an actor, but now you suddenly said that you want to be in the background. Why? And he says, like, I don't have a talent. I after trying, I've realized that, like, I don't really have any type of talent for acting, so I won't really be able to do anything, you know and that's why I've decided to stay in the background. And in his head, he's like, and being in the background would also mean, like, I don't necessarily need to step into in front of the spotlight to find out about my dad. Being connected to the director would automatically mean I'll get my information about, like, my dad one day or the other, and the whole DNA test and everything. He also has all of that, like, in his hand. So he's like, yeah, not necessarily I need to step inside the spotlight. I could work background as well and still get all the information and take care of my dad. But while he's thinking of all of that, in the end we get to realize when the director says, like, oh, you're just saying that in your heart you want to become an actor, so don't you mix up your own, like, situation with your mom's situation. Your mom was a genius, definitely, but you have your own thing. Your mom was your mom, you are you. Even if you're not really talented in acting, you have so many things that your mom never had. You have the intelligence that she never had. You have the information, the ins and outs. You know everything of this industry. Like, and as they say, knowledge is power. Like, all these things you have that your mom never had. Like, you can excel in that way. So don't really limit yourself just because your mom was able to do something. You are not as talented as your mom. Don't limit yourself or limit your possibilities. You're just a kid. And he kind of gives all of these, like, like explanations. And I love how he was like, oh, this is a middle-aged man talking, you're a little kid. And in my head I'm like, yeah, he's also a middle-aged man. But the funniest part here was while he was talking about how, like, he's an elder, he can give him some advice, how he was like, like, talking about all of these things. At that exact moment, the mom just barges in and he's like, oh, you want to have some dinner? And then she's like, oh, I was like, wait, what happened? Just a minute. Taishi, dinner's ready. And he's like, Mom, I was saying something important. Don't interrupt me. This reminds me of, like a kid who brings like, his friends to his room and is like saying some kind of a really, like, very serious thing, like those type of situations, and, like, giving someone advice or something, and suddenly the mom just comes in and the mom is like, oh, what are you doing? Why haven't you cleared your room up? Like, like you always do this, and start scolding you in front of all of your friends, and you're like, Mom, like, not now, like, just go away. Go away, don't interrupt me. But yeah, that was so funny because he was giving this speech, and while the mom just comes in, and then again he starts to give the speech again, and then again the mom comes in, and the mom is like, oh, your room is so untidy, like, this son of mine doesn't really clean at all. And he gets so angry. But anyways, in the end he puts his point across. He's like, yeah, Aqua, you're different, you're not your mom. Like, don't limit yourself. You have so many things that your mom never had. So there you go. I'm sure you'll be able to do something. And I'm confirmed of this, that you do want to act. Looking at you, I get the feeling that you want to act. And that is why I was saying that's another reason I feel like the second reason why subconsciously he wanted to go to the same school as Ruby because of the performing arts department. Even though he's saying like, oh, I'm going to go to the general education, like department, in his heart there's probably a part that wants to perform, that wants to act. And what the surprising thing here was? The fact that he's like, I was under the impression that he's wanting to act because of the whole get connection to my dad. But after watching this episode, I realized that's not the case. Because there was a little flashback where he thought when his mother died, which, I said that, oh, Aqua, I wish to see the day when you would become an actor. That is why he's doing this. Not because of his dad or wanting to, as he said, he doesn't need to become an actor if he wants to catch his dad. He could easily stay with the director and get other information from him, stay in the background. So that's not why he wants to act. He wants to act because it was her mother's last words, which is kind of very interesting and impressive, because I never really thought of it like that. And this episode kind of made it clear. So it is a good thing that the reason why he wants to act is not because of a negative reason, like I want to catch my mother's killer. It's because of a positive reason. Because my mom told me. It's a positive reason. That's the part that matters the most. He's not doing this because of a negative reason. He's doing this because of a positive reason. And because if it was a negative reason, the revenge would drive him to become an actor. And as soon as he got his revenge done, he would lose all of his passion for acting. And it would be his end, I feel like. He would be an empty human being, And that is why revenge is not good, as they say in animes and everything. It's going to squeeze everything from you and it's going to make you empty. The fact that this is not because of revenge that he's doing this is because of a positive thing, it means that he'll be able to continue with acting if he becomes an actor in the future, Even if his revenge is done, he won't stop acting. Because it was not because of revenge he was acting, it was because of his mom that he's acting. And that's why I'm saying that the reason behind him becoming an actor, trying to become an actor, the reason behind it is a positive one. And I'm glad for that. That is not a negative reason. So that is why. And yeah. Okay, anyways, after that we get to see them joining the school. I love how Ruby introduces herself to the teachers, to the board of directors or whatever, and while Aqua does it, they're like, wait, your score is like 70%. What does he say? You have a standard score of 70. Why do you apply here with the standard score is 40? Is there a mistake in here? Why are you here? And he's like, oh no, I'm here because I was charmed by the spirit of the school. Oh my god, previously passed. Oh yeah, it's true, he was a doctor. I forgot about that for a moment. Yeah, that is why his score is so high. Oh my god. I just forgot about the fact that he was a doctor. Oh, that's funny. Anyways, later on, he is talking to Ruby, and they're talking about their names and everything. She's like, oh, everyone's it's a pain to call you Aquamarine, so everyone calls you Aqua, this and that. While they're having this conversation, we meet Arima, and Arima's like, oh, you're that person, thank God you have not really given up acting. Because yeah, for her, that's the day she heard about Aqua, and after that got no really connection to Aqua, and she probably thought that he left acting or something. So now that he's here, she's like, oh, thank God you've not given up acting. And Aqua wasn't able to recognize her, while Ruby's like, oh, you're that girl, the girl who licks baking soda. I think that's what it says. And she's like, no, the girl who cries in 10 seconds flat. But either way, you can see that Arima is pretty happy. She's like, oh, thank God you haven't really given up acting. And he's like, no, I'm actually in the general department. And she's like, wait, what? Oh God. Now, one thing was surprising, that is, Arima actually changed this month. And it's a good thing, because I remember the director saying in the previous episode that the fact that you came here and showed her that there are so many people and so many competitors like you is going to change her. is going to make her career. Because if she remained like this, this type of snobby attitude, he little by little she would lose people, and people would not want to work with her. That'd be the end of her idol career. So the fact that you were there to show her the reality, that, oh, there's so many people way more talented than me, is going to make her career in the future. It's going to change her life. And that's exactly what happened. I feel you can see her personality change so much. She's like genuinely happy that Aqua never really left acting. Obviously that was a misunderstanding, because she thought he didn't leave acting. Still, she was like genuinely happy, and she was like speaking so nicely. Unlike episode 1, where she was like this, had this snobby attitude. So yeah, it's a good thing that she really did change, I guess. Either way, that is where it ended. So that was it. That was episode number 2. It was a good episode. I'm glad that Strawberry Productions is starting again, and Ruby has actually joined. Under Miyako. Since she'll be within family, it's all well and good. And yeah, I'm kind of interested in how Aqua's story is going to progress, because you can see that he really does want to act. He has that passion, because his mom told him that. And that is why, obviously the fact that he wants to find his mother's killer, this and that, all that stuff are still there. But the fact is also it is also a truth that he does want to act. It's not only because he's doing this just because to find the mother's killer. He's doing the acting. He wants to act for his own reason as well, which is a good thing. So yeah, that's it. That's it, guys. Thanks for watching. If you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to press the like button and subscribe if you're new to the channel or you haven't subscribed. Comment down below anything you want to say, anything you want to let me know. I'll check them out. That's it. Thank you for watching, guys. I'll see you guys next week with another episode of Oshi. Until then, goodbye and have a nice day.